I don't have my.
Let's see if it's on. It's not on yet.
You're nuts.
It's not on yet. There it is. Yeah, it's live. Okay. So, impromptu.
Yeah, evidently.
All right.
Bring Todd some coffee and you're going live. Who knew, right? That's so true. Looks like a Saturday Night Live skit. We do like
do it.
A morning coffee on Soulogy. We should. Where's the microphone? I can interview you, Todd. Let's do an interview.
No. Okay, there's people in the house now. This is your show.
Welcome. It's not my show. I just brought Todd coffee, and evidently we've got a live rolling. So this is how we roll. So let's get some peeps in the house. So we add some people. Is this who's on?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to figure out, is the camera over here? Over here?
It's over here.
Right over there. Right there.
Let's see. So
okay.
You're coming this way?
You have to move your chair.
Yeah.
Or we can, that's why I said it looks so much like a Saturday Night Live skit. Like,
yeah.
We need coffee.
So you're gonna rap.
I'm not. He wants me to rap. Rap about what?
Yeah,
evidently, I was Morgan, and we were doing a live with Morgan, and she's nowhere to be found.
No, she's coming
and
right here.
Thank you. Morgan saved the day for me. Evidently, I was gonna rap.
Yeah. Wait, let's turn it to volume. Okay. Can you hear us?
I can. Oh, can you hear me?
Not very good. Let me turn the AC off.
Hello, Miss Morgan.
Hello, how are you?
Well, how are you? Wonderful.
It's late. See. I'm tired, so I'm not going to stay on here long. But...
Let's see. What's the best picture here? No.
Picture of what?
That one. This one?
Yeah.
That's better.
At least we can see it.
Ryan says there's a great rising happening.
Oh, can you feel it?
So what are we going to talk about today?
Are you already on, Mr. McGee?
What's that?
You on live?
Yeah, we're on live. Live? You're on live right now.
Oh, you usually tell me when you're going live.
Well, we figured since you were in a rush, we went ahead and got on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm very tired, so I'm not going to stay on long.
Yeah. So what are we going to talk about?
What would you like to talk about? Mr. Pinkleton?
Oh, no, Rebecca is backing up right now.
I don't know who. I have no idea who.
Here it comes.
I have no idea who Mr.
You don't know who that
is. Who's Mr.
Cello. Okay. I know who Henry is, but I do not know.
No.
I know who Mr. Pinkleton is. That's for sure.
Mr. Pinkleton. Who's Mr. Pinkleton? Okay, so Sandra's in Goolwa, South Australia. So no. Yeah, Sandra's on. She's in Goolwa, South Australia.
Sandra, beautiful.
So, what happened yesterday? That's what I want to know. What happened yesterday?
Oh, okay. What happened yesterday? Well, gosh, you put me on the spot, don't you? Well, we did a session last Monday, and yesterday was day 5. And I always say things. I have to put my glasses on. Things always happen like on the 4th or 5th day, like the human. I'm waffling. The human mind sort of catches up. What happened yesterday? Where are you, Todd?
I'm coming. I had to turn something off. Yeah, I'm here.
How can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
So you and I had experienced some things during the week. It was like in unison, we both felt like we had all the power in the world. We could almost literally point our finger at something and manifest it into reality. But along the same lines was also the shadow stuff. I mean, for me, I felt sadness. And it was interesting because usually you have your shadow stuff happen first and then, you know, the gift comes. But we actually felt this in unison. You know, there was the shadow was sitting alongside of the gifts as well. I'd done a post a couple of weeks ago about how a new channel, a new frequency was coming and that we were going to be able to tune into this new frequency. And that appears to have happened last night or yesterday some point. I woke up this morning a very, very long time ago because it's now nearly 2 a.m. But with an understanding that this new channel was activated, that we now have access to all timelines, all dimensions, you know, whatever we address in every moment is actually, you know, if there's a fracture in any of our past timelines, in any dimensions, that we're going to be able to consciously transform that back to pure love. That was my experience.
Yeah. But what was...
Go on.
What?
No, go. You say something because I'm a bit lost. It's very late.
They like the mandalas. No, what was interesting was what happened, like when I got up, so that would have been what? How long ago was that? About 12 hours ago.
No, it was about
24 hours. 24.
You got up about 2 hours ago.
24 hours ago.
I had to ring you to wake you, so don't tell me that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you called me an hour early too. So, but 24 hours ago, everyone was having problems with the internet around the world.
Yeah, that was exactly 24 hours ago.
Yeah, 24 hours ago. Yep. So it's like something came in like 24 hours ago, and I could see it affected. It was affecting the electronics. My phone was being affected, and everybody was having these issues. Yeah. And so it was interesting because it seemed like it was almost like a visible energy wave that came in. To me,
palpable. You could feel it. Sandra, who's down at Goodwood, she got up this morning. She looked like a walking zombie. She was all over the place. 2:30 in the morning, I couldn't sleep. I hopped online and saw that you were due to do a show with some man that wouldn't work, and all the comments were, internet's down. I was having the same experience. So I was on for 2 minutes, and it was down for 5 minutes. It was back on for 2 minutes. There's a communication system. We have been activated into a new frequency. It's like if you believe in God or the universe turned on a new channel for us, and our access has expanded, and it's going to take our brains, and I'm only speaking for myself, it's going to take our brains, our little human minds, to catch up with how is that going to work for us, because even though I saw the fractures and I saw how to fix everything through the fractures, I also understand the opposite is also true, and that's that we're going to have access to all the pure love creations through that same avenue. As easily as we can go back in time through dimensions, you know, other planetary aspects and fix everything all at once, we're also going to be able to create everything with all that energy and all that power as well.
Yeah, so what that actually adds is this beautiful layer to allowing this to be a softer, easier transition as well. Because when you have access to that particular, as you're saying, channel is opened up for us. So everything that's going on now, we have that channel there. That lends just that gentle grace that love brings. So, and I feel that. I actually feel like warm hugs just came over me yesterday. Yeah, and I've been feeling rounds of that since the eclipse. I've been feeling rounds of like warm hugs of just the sense that everything's okay. Hence, everything is okay, but our 3D minds will go into these, it's not okay. But I've been feeling this just extreme feeling of, warm hugs. Best way to describe it.
Yeah, and if you look at Facebook today, the amount of people, there's a huge amount of people like putting in posts about I love you, and they're doing one thing or the other. So both exist in the same moment, and we actually get to choose which energy we're going to play in. And Todd and I have sat in for the last 5 days of all this excess energy and all this power, and it's like how do we don't know, or I don't know how to actually utilize that yet to manifest things. Todd felt it as excess energy, and he's been walking and walking and walking because, you know, we haven't actually received the downloads or the upgrades, however you want to look at it, to how do we actually utilise this now. But this new channel, this new frequency, and it's like a radio station. It's like a new channel has just been activated. It's a very, very popular channel, and all of us just have to find that channel to work out what are we going to do with this, and how do we do this? How do we listen to it? How do we align with it? How do we tune into it? But it's there. It's activated.
Yeah, it seems to be the creative powers linked to it.
Yes, very much. Agreed.
So, like what you said is that what you said is it's almost like you go, wow, this is how it works, and it's like how do you adjust to it? And it's like getting used to it. Like that's the way I see it.
It's like, getting used to it. Can it be this easy? Can it be this good? Does it feel this good?
Yeah.
And I think what happens too is that, like, slowly the DNA that's been changed, that we've all agreed to, those are our shadow work to be able to receive. The DNA, it happens instantaneously. Human mind is slower, and I keep saying it takes 1 to 5 days to catch up, but we're going to have dreams. We're going to see symbols. We're going to make mistakes or practice or learn how to actually tune into this channel and work out how do we use this now. This is like a Christ consciousness activation. It's probably, I don't know, it's a manifesting. It's a manifesting. It's the two polarities all together. It's the ability to be able to manifest what we want, as well as quickly transforming back to pure love all the lower vibrational energies that we've ever created in any lifetime and in any dimension. I'm just looking for my notes, all the stuff I wrote this morning.
See, my
phone's run hot.
That's powerful. See, that's what I was getting yesterday. She explained it to me, but I didn't understand it. We still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I'm just looking for the notes that I wrote today.
And so it's like, what did she just say? Because I just forgot.
Well, we're talking about the merging of the merging of the two. Basically, talking about the love channel that's existed.
Yeah.
So tapping into that, and if that exists, and that's opened up for us.
Well,
but at the same time, also tapping into and becoming aware, consciously aware of the fear things that we've created in any timeline or any dimension, and also understanding that we can recreate that as well.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Okay, so that's what I got was like, okay, anything that wasn't, you said it yesterday, anything that's not pure love or wasn't made from the intention of pure love can be mended or healed at any point from our human conscious intention. And so when I look at that, I look at it and I say, okay, I can go back into this memory or whatever it is, and I can heal it immediately, which means it doesn't exist, basically, which means it doesn't hold me back. It's not a limitation.
Yeah, and it's like this new channel or this new frequency, or like if you imagine a new radio station that now gives you access to everything.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have to pick different channels or different radio stations or different frequencies to actually go and work in, but we've actually just accessed yesterday 2:30, which is 23 and a half hours ago. It all got like opened up. We have access to everything now. We have access to everything. You don't have to go into a meditation state to access this stuff. It's like whatever happens in this moment, any discomfort or any love feeling can be expanded out. Like you know, I was talking to Sveta about her spiral the other day, and she had this vision of her spiral expanding, not just at a 3D level, but up and up and up. It's anything that we intend, whatever frequency we're in, whether it's fear or love, it's expanded again.
Here's a question.
That's how I'm understanding it.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
You're saying 23 hours ago, so yeah, go ahead, because I can say something that I understand why that opened up for me yesterday.
Okay, so Linda, she's our friend from Dallas. She says, "How can we? Is the world with positive feelings or spirit? How can we the world with positive feelings or spirit? There's so much human conscious negativity out there. Very concerned."
I can answer that.
You want to answer that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Jennifer.
I mean, because it goes right along with what I was going to say would open up for me yesterday. Because yesterday I went and shot the water over here, the Walta, and I went there, and I didn't realize I'd be there for a good 30 minutes. And I was saying, here, let's set intention, and anything that we set intent on this water is going to manifest. And I set my intent, and within seconds, I mean, I'm just feeling this. It was like instantaneous. So it's no longer like you're stating like this. I mean, I've been feeling the instantaneous. Like when I connect, I'm connecting quickly. But yesterday, it just flooded to me. It was like within moments, and I felt it all day yesterday. So to go on with the person's asking here, Linda from Dallas, how do we escape, or how do we? You say we're being kind of bombarded with the negative, or the negative seems to be around. Is through our thoughts, our words, our actions, is to stay in a state of obviously gratitude, but in a state of positivity. So when we're seeing these negative things, we don't engage in them. We see them for what they are. They're a state of fear. Yeah. So how do we don't engage in them, and then how we change that is we perpetuate positivity through our post. Post, if you can't post anything, then make sure you're on posts that are good. So feed yourself these positive things. If you see something negative, just close out of it. But to change it is literally by what you're doing and by example. So just track your thoughts, keep them well, keep them good, keep them positive. And same with the words, the actions, all of the above. Be mindful. That's so key, mindful. And that's a 24/7 experience. So if we stay mindful of what we're thinking, we're changing the world. Just stay mindful in that positive thought and that state of gratitude. And if we all do that and stay and focusing on yourself, if you notice you're focusing on others, you need to reel back in, because it's all about self. You've got to master self.
Yeah. That show with Judith Cassell yesterday, she talked about, she kind of answered that. She said to align yourself, from the purest bliss and love in your heart, be it a relationship, be it your work or whatever it is, and that's the biggest contribution we can make, because we're these energetic fields. We can now look at this a little bit differently. You're not just looking at it as a human, you're looking at it as energy.
Yes.
And she also gave the example of these young kids coming in and explaining how powerful their energetic fields are, and how the world isn't set up right now for them to be, and it's not a conducive environment for them. And but basically flipping that around, saying that this is the way we operate. This is the way that this is the way they're coming in.
Right. Yeah.
And that is to operate from feeling. If it doesn't feel right, you don't do it. And you're basically serving your higher aspects by aligning with bliss and love, and I guess kind of what makes sense. So
what feels good.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what you were saying about mastering yourself. But I think, like Morgan's saying, this thing's coming in, like she said, and at the same time, you're having that removal of certain things, but at the same time, this creative energy's coming in, gifts coming in with it.
Yes. It feels better. It's like it feels better. You're going through it, but it's almost like you're going through a tough experience and having that mom hug at the same time. That's what it is. It's like going through these. Because we're going to keep shedding. If we think that we're shedding it in this year and it's all done, we're nuts. We've got plenty of shedding to do. So, but the shedding now seems to come with this hug.
Yeah.
I follow that. I feel that so much, Morgan. So it really ties into to the feelings that and you've lined up with so many things on the whole 5 day. It takes 5 days to integrate stuff. I feel that as well.
Rebecca wrote something down there, and she said it's in our DNA now. We don't have to do anything. And that's what I was going to say yesterday.
It's just trust at this point.
Yeah, I told Morgan, I said, one thing's for sure about whatever came in yesterday, it's not leaving.
Yeah,
I mean, you can feel it. It's here. It's staying. So
this is crazy. It's beautiful. I haven't even had a discussion with this man, so who knew? So how beautiful is that?
What?
I feel the same. I was just discussing it with Rebecca. Like we're having an understanding that some serious energies come through, and obviously we have the Lions Gate, so we know. I mean, which is already pushing through on its own, but the actual alignment is until next week. But there definitely seems to be obviously alignment. So that goes with alignment, doesn't it? So how beautiful is this? So we're aligning. So imagine we'll be on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
I don't know. This is a huge leap in evolution. We are so blessed to be experiencing it. It's the unknown. Yeah.
It is the unknown. At the same time, it's the known, isn't it? Right? That's the beautiful thing.
I don't know, man. That's pretty deep.
You know? The known.
I think our time of sitting on the fence, you know, waiting to see what's going to happen is done. You know, We've got a responsibility first to self, to make sure that we're okay, and secondly to everything and everyone else. Our fence sitting time is done. If we're having a lower vibrational thought, whether it's judgment or old beliefs, you know, the other thing that happened this week is, you know, I had 2 or 3 nights of dreaming. It was almost like a life review, which I understand is what happens like after we actually transition.
Yes.
A life review. And the life review has been, you know, going back and seeing things that I still had judgment on and just like letting that go. We're at a point now where it's our responsibility to consciously choose the higher vibration. I think our, you know, time sitting on the fence is done now.
And from the point of our thoughts too, because that's like what happened to me yesterday. She got that life review thing. I had like 3 nights of lucid dreams that were just basically I was clearing. But yesterday, all these people kept popping up in my head where I was uncomfortable or where there was resistance. And so
and you cleared.
And it was kind of effortless. It was just I just had to like look at them.
Yes.
And a couple of couple of disconnected relationships came into my field.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at the person etherically, face to face. And in a matter of 15 or 20 or 30 seconds, everything was integrated in my heart.
Yes.
Uh-oh. What'd she do? Okay, you're up now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if I didn't realize anything had come. I mean, I just felt I've been feeling soft, like just as we're describing, like I feel a lot of shedding of old thoughts, old patterns. Those have been happening. They're definitely speeding up, and the thickest and the heaviest stuff seems to be surfacing right now for me. So,
what do you mean?
Like the things that need to be dealt with that you haven't dealt with are the things that are coming up.
Yeah.
Right. But as they're coming up, this time they don't hurt. They look beautiful, like kind of like you're stating, like you just something that you're resisting, it kind of came forward, and you saw it. It comes in a different light, even though you're seeing even seeing stuff in love from the past. This is a different love. It's almost like I expressed. It's like that mom feeling, like you know how moms just make you feel better. You know, it's like the chicken soup or the
unconditional love.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's like I think Yukia said. She said that. Well, we were talking, and basically the masculine feminine energy part of it. I think what we're feeling, what you're describing, is that feminine mother goddess energy. It's that energy that doesn't resist. It creates space for everything because everything is accepted and loved unconditionally.
Sure, I do believe that. No, I believe it's almost the merging of the two, or it's taken on its own. That's something that I've just recently discussed. Like with Rebecca mentioned this about that. We're almost coming into like the merging of these two masculine and feminine, where and Morgan just mentioned it, where that merge, that where we're actually meeting, it's taken on its own form. Which because I almost think we've got this this pushing out, so that would almost be like this masculine, you know. So this pushing out's happening, but then the meeting of the two is just creating this beautiful comfort that's almost like a family. So I'd almost go there.
Yeah.
You follow?
Yeah.
Because having courage to be able to push this stuff out, you know, it takes courage too. Hi.
Okay, we're handing it back to you now.
You can't do that. I don't know what you've been talking about.
You know what? We're talking about how things that we weren't aligned with in our timeline or whatever people or whatever is being presented in a whole different light. And it's like I said, it's almost effortless. You just pull it in, or it presents itself to you, and you see the value of it. Even things that were very difficult, you see the value of it. You see it in a different way. And she was talking about how she's feeling that nurturing, that hugging. At the same time, these uncomfortable things are happening. And I was just reflecting on my conversation with Judith and Yukia, where they were basically talking about the Magdalene energy, the divine feminine, or whatever you want to call it, how it holds space rather than resists things, because it accepts everything, accepts everything unconditionally, and that's what we're actually experiencing, and discovering it.
With love for self, it's like there's no external judgment. There's just like a service to self. It's like we're being pushed into service of self. We've all been brought up thinking that we have to serve everyone else.
Yes.
Please do everything for everyone else. But we're actually being really pushed into doing what's right for us. And what we're finding as we step into that people are either aligning with that or they're dropping away.
Yes.
One of the things...
Go on.
No, I was going to say one of the things that Jude brought up was with these young kids, and again, we're talking about a frequency of truth, if we want to put it that way, or pure love. Yeah. That if the world didn't adapt or didn't change the patriarchal structure, that these children coming in will rebel. Ooh,
yes.
Because they're already aligned and in tune with our natural nature. And so this is what we're experiencing, I think, is what you're talking about is we're not accepting anymore what we don't align with on a personal level, and that's in the flower of life,
Well, really, Todd, we've caught up with the children, because, I mean, what child do you know that hasn't really rebelled against what it's been taught?
I was going to say that. Yeah, they've been shut for quite some time, so you're right. We're catching up.
We bought into it, and we became like our parents, and usually the opposite extreme. But I actually think we're catching up with the children. The children actually know better. My son, my 16-year-old son, speaks to me numerous times a week, and was telling me the other day that when he doesn't feel like doing a class, he'll go and sit under a tree. And he said he's had a few times in the last few weeks where teachers have gone up to it, like, what are you doing? He said, I've got a free, or I'm not in a good space. I thought it was better that I'm not in that class and bring that energy into the class. And I think that's brilliant. You know, if more kids at schools said to the teachers, I don't feel like doing that science class, or I don't feel like doing that geography class, I'm recognizing that I'm not in a good space and I need to sit under a tree. Yeah. But if you think of us as children, we rebelled the whole system as well. We bought into it, but, these kids are not going to buy into it for one reason. Why? Because we're actually catching up with them. We've been opening the doors, and we're supporting them coming through and doing what we would love to have done, but, our parents didn't support it, didn't open the gateways for us to be able to do that.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually needed on both ends, because they needed to wake us up, and we need to catch up and support. Yeah.
So, what can we expect from this eclipse?
I think we all need to understand that the fence is gone. There is no fence sitting anymore. We've either got to choose, are we service to self or service to others? You cannot be service to others unless you truly are 100% aligned with service to self. And service to self is doing what's right for the self in every moment. And when we do that, we automatically step into or align with service to others. And Sandra said to me the other day, that it's self-service. So service to others is very, very different from self-service. So self-service is like people with agendas. I still want to look this. I still want to be that. I still want to gain this. I still want to make all the money. It's all about the self. Whereas service to self is all about loving the self. And the frequency, the number one frequency of this planet is love. I was talking to Paul Wellington the other day, and he was saying that, we have 5 elements, and he knows there's a 6th. And he said the elements are fire, water, air, earth, ether, and he didn't know what the 6th element is. But in actual fact, the 6th element is, and Todd, we've been playing with this for quite a while. Yes, Jennifer. Love. And there are 5 elements to love. Maybe I've actually test them all. It's divine feminine, divine masculine, sacred sexuality, pure love, and Christ consciousness. And each one of those, if you actually invite your body to show you each one of those elements, they all have a specific feel to them, and yet every single one of them feels like love as well. So as we're going through and we're bringing balance to divine feminine and divine masculine, we're automatically aligning with Christ consciousness. Then we're automatically aligning with sacred sexuality, which looks nothing like human 3D sex at all. And we're also aligning with pure love. So as we activate those 5 essences of pure love, we're also activating the 6th element of creation.
Yeah, that is the creative element.
It's the number one. All the others are, but it is pure love, which is conspired of all of those 5 essences of love, is the creative energy, is the Christ consciousness, is our universal intelligence, wisdom, knowledge, like everything, all activating our manifestation and actually materialization. And that's what we've been feeling all week alongside of this review of the ending of the 3D life. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, and I need another 5 days to actually work that out, but that's what I felt.
Rebecca made the comment 2 nights ago. She woke up and knowing that she could not hide anymore. And I think that's something else that's happening is people are stepping up and they're expanding their throat chakra. They're making they're taking a stand in their own lives, walking away from jobs, walking away from relationships. You can't hide anymore. No,
you said the universe will not support anything that is not authentic anymore. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time. We will get to a point where the universe will just not support what is not authentic love. It's not. And we've been watching. I don't watch the news, but you turn the news on and it's there to be seen every day.
Peggy Wood, Amelia, she asked, what are the 5 elements of love again, please?
Okay, they are divine feminine. So every single human being on the planet has the essence of divine feminine, as well as divine masculine, as well as sacred sexuality, as well as pure love. And all of that aligned with activates Christ consciousness, which is the 5th element of universal love.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, so I think that there is no fence anymore and there's no sides anymore, but there's like 2 polarities out there. One is those who choose to dive into the river, and the other one is, and there's no right or wrong, but I mean,
it's just pure love, really. You're just choosing one or the other.
Yeah, but it's become more and more obvious.
Yes.
Well, a lot of us have been sitting on the fence and playing in both of them, but it feels very much as of yesterday, and I called it from last January, not January gone, the one before, the Great Divide. there's going to be a great divide. It's those that are, you know, still going to operate in fear and those that are actually choosing love. But what I've watched for the last 18 months is that so many of us, and there was a lot that operated in pure love, but so many of us actually sat on the fence and, you know, 1 foot in one world, 1 foot in the other world, sort of shifting between two. But that's done. We're not going to get to do that anymore. We're actually going to have to choose in every moment fear or love.
Yes, and a big thing here is, like, if we make the choice to do it on our own, because no matter what, if we don't make the choice to make changes, the change will occur. And it may be a little more uncomfortable than if you make the choice on your own. And also, making the choice on your own, I find, and I'm a firm believer that that's where the true gift comes, when you're making this choice on your own and the universe isn't doing it for you, because that's breaking not only the pattern for yourself, the paradigm for yourself, but for the entire collective. At the same time, by breaking it on your own, the gifts are that much bigger. It's not like we're doing something for a gift, but if you're letting the universe is going to shift it for you regardless. It's going to create a situation that's going to have something occur if you are not doing it for yourself, whether it be a job or a relationship. It's going to kick you right out of it if you're not going to do that. It will do it for you.
But you are the universe. So, you know, by saying
exactly,
the universe is going to do it to us is still a victim consciousness statement. You are the universe. Every decision is either going to be a decision of you walking towards love, or I'm going to go back over here and create some lessons for myself and do it that little bit tougher. You are the universe. Every decision you make is either a decision of fear or love. And if you're choosing love, it's going to be, you know, the human mind might think, oh my God, this is going to hurt other people, this is going to be difficult. But if you're choosing love for yourself, it's the universe, which is you, is going to conspire to help all of that fall into place. If you're going to choose fear and say, oh, the universe, you know, is going to give me some more lessons, that's exactly what you're going to get. You are the universe. You are the center of the universe, and every single moment you create what you want. Yeah. And this is self-responsibility. This is us actually going, oh my God, I am the center of the universe. Am I going to do this quick, fast, and align with love? Or am I going to buy into the human 3D fear stuff and go down that path? You'll always end up with the same end result, but, you know, your journey is your journey.
It's like judgment.
My journey is my journey.
Yeah. It's like a personal judgment day. The days of you know, and we're seeing it at all levels. I'm amazed to see how intense everything was last week, last 7 to 10 days, on a lot of people that are very high vibrational, right? It just shows how powerful the energy of transformation is. But what I'm saying is there's no more of this, hey, I believe in the universe, but I'm the exception. As long as I have this, or I have that, or I have this, I'm a good light worker. I believe. There's no more of that. It's being taken away. It's being taken away. And I think that's one thing. As we were going through this, there was a lot of people, not a lot, but there was a significant amount of posts, people calling people out, people going off on people. And what I think that was really
looking at self.
It was seeing it in someone else, and then eventually seeing it in ourselves. And so that was a big one, you know.
Doesn't it make sense of where these energies are and what they're pushing out, that would be where people went, because these are some of the toughest ones, you know. So it makes sense.
Well, it's the stuff that we do to distract ourselves. I mean, and this was always going to happen in the Great Divide, is that it was going to create chaos, and it's going to happen personally, at a personal level first. And then we're going to start seeing out in society, and then we're going to see it in our governmental systems. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yes. But if you've organised your own, so everything happens within first. So first I experienced my own internal chaos, and I cleared that. And then next thing I saw it like an external level where, you know, it's happening and it's like sort of affecting me. And I had to keep making new choices. I'm done with that. I'm done with this energy of such and such. I'm not playing that game anymore. And every time I made the decision, I'm done with it. And even if it meant like letting people go, I just walked into even more loving experiences, or more You know, every time I made a choice of I'm done with that old energy, it didn't matter what I thought of the person. It wasn't about the person. It was about the, you know, because all people are pure. But some of the behaviours that we have are, you know, still fear-based. So as I let go of the behaviours, didn't judge the person for it and remained in a state of compassion, then I walked towards more love again. This chaos was always going to happen. You can't have two polarizing energies that are collapsing and not create a chaotic outcome.
Yeah.
It can't happen.
Yeah.
You've got two polar. It's like a relationship. Two people, total polar opposites, create within a relationship. Doesn't matter how much they love each other, but those polarizing energies will come up and create shocking experiences, probably for both people. You cannot have two fear and love unravel and not create chaos. And that is what we're actually going to see going on at the moment. And so many of us have been sitting on the fence and watching and saying, well, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. I'm not going to be part of this. I'm kind to this person. But we actually had to get to a point of, I love that person, but I'm not playing that game, and switching off and stepping right out of it and choosing love, which is actually choosing the self. I choose me. I love you, but I choose me. I'm not having a relationship with my wounded ego. I'm definitely not going to have a relationship with yours. Or I'm not having a relationship with a warrior archetype. Or I'm not having a relationship with alpha archetype. I don't care if it's me or another. But, you know, really getting clear on what's not love and walking away from it, regardless of the consequences.
Yes, I love that. I choose me. And that's where we are right now.
Yes, we are, and that's so opposite to how we've been brought up to be
isn't
polite
it,
and people pleasing and look after the neighbour or whatever. How can we look after the neighbour until we've actually committed to self and looked after the self? And I feel funny talking about this because even though I've done it, my human mind goes, "Oh my God, that's so selfish."
Oh,
but
yes,
it's not.
Doesn't
it's
it?
actually the opposite.
Yeah, it is.
Very good.
And it's beautiful that you explain these energies. I mean, that you had you two had the conversations, and you're saying 23 hours ago, because I just was assuming everything. It probably is something to do with Lionsgate. It just has to do with the energies in general. This is the new norm. You know, we could sit there and say each day or each week there's these new energies, but I just think this is the new norm.
Yeah.
And this is it.
And like she said, we're going to have to get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some time to adjust to this. Like I said, Todd and I 5 days ago actually saw walking into the Garden of Eden. And the Garden of Eden, I don't know much about the Bible, but my understanding is it's new life. It's new life, and we're in new life, and it's our job to take self-responsibility and consciously step into that. And have I got agenda? When I'm having a conversation with this other person, or I'm about to commune with this, do I have agenda here, or am I pure? Does this other person have agenda with me? I want to go forth and create this business. Is my focus money, or is my focus community? You know, it's like questioning every single thing that we're going to do now. You know, am I supporting a new 5D world, or am I still operating from a 3D perspective? You know, these are all the things that we've actually got to get real clarity around. Am I sitting on the fence and waiting for somebody else to take this first step, or am I taking this conscious new first step in a place of love and pure intent? And sometimes that might look like, no, I'm blocking this person, or I'm getting rid of that person, or that's not, you know, it's no different from me turning off the TV 10 years ago and saying, I'm not going to have my frequency or vibration.
Beautiful analogy.
By an external
it
source.
isn't. Yep.
My responsibility is to keep looking at my own shadow, and I've still got plenty. I still discover it numerous times a week. Oh, I'm uncomfortable. What's this now? It's personal self-responsibility. No more fence sitting, projection, blaming, like all that's done.
I like that analogy. You said there was a new frequency. What was it?
Radio station.
Yeah, a new channel, like this global higher frequency channel available. So it's really like being in a car in the old days, and turning the radio.
It is.
You're just saying, I don't want to be at this. I don't like this station.
Yes, this doesn't align with me anymore.
This station doesn't make me feel good. So at that point, it doesn't matter your fault, my fault, nobody's fault. You're just finding your frequency that you align with.
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote about this, and you know, I didn't really know what I was writing about a couple of weeks ago, but this is it. This actually happened 23 hours and what's 9 minutes minus 60? 51 minutes ago. 23 hours and 51 minutes ago. I actually felt it happen, and I hopped on in the middle of the night to actually see if you were on, and you couldn't connect with the man you were connected with, and everyone's comments on there, no matter where they were in the world, was internet's playing up. Bang, straight away it's like, whoa, we're being upgraded, you know, something really big is going on here. And then as I was waking up this morning, I watched all these, you know, any fractures that we've ever been involved in, me personally, any fractures that I've ever been involved in, so any fear creations that I've created in any lifetime I've had here, in any dimension, and not just here on Earth, but in any dimension, any fear-based fractures that I'd created on grid lines, I was shown how to bring all of it into my heart and actually heal, transform. I don't like the word heal. Transform all of it back to pure love. That's my responsibility. I did it. I don't care what I was taught, what society taught me, parents or whatever. I did it. It's my responsibility. And each time I do that, I'm choosing self-responsibility, which is pure love. And every time I do it, my self-esteem, my self-worth, my self-value, my self-respect, everything raises up, as well as self-empowerment. The more that I undo anything that I've ever done in any dimension or any lifetime, the more I actually step back into my own power, which is pure love and alchemy.
Yes. So this is, we should title this entire thing self-love.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, essentially that's what we're just taught. We're just stating. It's just if we do focus on loving self. Yeah.
Which is like.
Well, it's the ultimate. It's the ultimate gift.
It's like Judith was talking about. It's in the being. It's you know, like she said, we forget all this stuff out there. It's in the being. I noticed too. I've noticed a little bit more every day, but I noticed big time the last couple of days was like the internal dialogue that I have. So it's your higher self. It's the human voice has a voice, but I hear like all the multidimensional aspects are there now. It's all aligning. And so I was going about my day, and then I would have like a thought would come in, and I'd say, well, what's that? And I would basically hear, well, that's your human. That's the human voice. That's what the human's feeling. All the human's saying is, hey, my leg hurts, or hey, I need to, you know, I've got this thought. And it was okay. It was okay but it was so easy to see it, but the human part of me wasn't reacting to what was coming in. The whole team was. It was like, you know, you don't need to get nervous, you don't need to worry.
Right, yes.
Get some chicken wings and a beer.
And we do have that now. I mean, most of us have aligned with our multidimensional aspects, and we can flip into all of those things. Yeah. And what I love now is that we're seeing photographic evidence of that transformation of flipping in and out of all the different beings too. You know, a lot of people are posting pictures of their all these shimmering golden particles, you know, shining from them. We had our own event on Wednesday.
I was going to say, your video.
Yeah, it's like the energy of the multidimensional aspects that are actually being anchoring and embodying into us are real. They are vital and they're real. And our minds, and some of us are aware of it and some not just yet, is we're actually flipping into, it's like having 12 or 13 different personalities. You know, 1 minute you might be the priestess, and the next minute you're shaman, and the next minute you're just the human. And the human is as powerful as all of them. But, you know, the power comes in, the self-empowerment comes in recognizing when I've dropped into human, when I'm in shaman, or when I'm in priestess, or when I'm in medicine woman or medicine man, or like to actually start getting used to picking up on all these different aspects, multi-dimensional aspects that are coming in and playing their role, and not disengaging the human. The human needs to be heard as well.
Yeah, it's like the human doesn't run the show, but the human has to align.
It's
like,
just one part of the team.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's just one.
Yeah. But to be conscious of it, I guess that's where I'm getting. It's like the human's now hearing these other aspects of myself and acknowledging that as well, and acknowledging that those aspects care for me, love me, are me. And it's just a kind of alignment that I've never experienced before.
It's almost, we're actually viewing everything from the full spectrum versus just one or the other. From a full spectrum.
And I think, so many of us have thought over the years, had moments of thinking I'm crazy, but I don't think it was crazy at all. I think it was those, not understanding how to manage. The human is like the manager of the whole team of people.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Todd, I spoke to you in the last few weeks about the collapsing of the old 3D paradigm parts of the masculine energy. So I said to you before it happened, I said the warrior, the old 3D archetype of the warrior was going to collapse. And I think a few days later I said, okay, we're going to do the alpha male next. Whether you're male or female, and not many people agree with me, but predominantly the men carry the masculine energy and predominantly the women carry the feminine energy. So the men were actually going to do the greater part of dropping or collapsing, allowing the collapse of the warrior and the alpha state. And then I said, once that's done, and you went through that we're actually going to look at some of the archetypes of the power over things like judge, authoritarian, bully, some of these archetypes that exist within human beings, male or female, these power over archetypes that have been, very, very 3D archetypes of this planet are all going to start collapsing now. So, we catch ourselves in, the role of judge. That's an archetype of this planet, a 3D archetype that's been very predominant, that's going to start collapsing as well as authoritarian, bully, some of those power over archetypes. So I think that's what we're up for next, is allowing those
allowing
really strong personality traits that most of us have to naturally start collapsing. And supporting that collapse, recognising when we're uncomfortable. I've just judged somebody, I feel really uncomfortable. Recognising I'm uncomfortable because I judged because of an old 3D archetype that's actually trying to collapse instead of taking it personally.
What caught my attention when you came out 24 hours ago, you saw the way everything was set up, and you saw the cracks on the timelines that we could instantly heal from our human consciousness with intent. So I started going through my day, and I started looking at myself. I mean, it was just coming in, and it was basically showing me different things in history that had helped formulate or mold my false persona, be it prejudices or anything. So if I looked at something like a war, like the Civil War or anything in human history, how it affected me, how it created biases in me. And so I just immediately, as they came in, I would just say, okay, that's false, and it's cured. So I started thinking to myself as as I'm materializing what I align with in the present moment. How deep does that go? That includes laws. That includes ownership, possession, contract. So I'm walking path now, and I'm saying, do I give credence to those things? Do I continue to clear them? If I clear them, they will go away in my universe. They will go away.
Yeah, this is a trick. You only have to do it for yourself, because as soon as we start looking at externally, we're distracting ourselves from taking responsibility for our own. If we all do this, the society, the communities, the governments and everything will collapse it, because it's only still so powerful because we all still have it in ourselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, and we spoke about this earlier with Vera and Augusti. This idea is, oh well, I'm doing this, and I'm doing collective, is almost like a distraction from this is actually mine. It's all mine. You know, at some point we are doing it for the collective, but owning it 100% yourself is collapsing the energy that's actually held it in place. We're collapsing the foundations of 3D, the 3D power over paradigm. And the most powerful way to do that is by owning it as our own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, like I agree with not pushing it out on any form of a collective. You're not doing it for the collective either. This is all about clearing it for self. Again, it goes back to self-awareness, self-love.
You know, 9 million of us doing that, there's not a chance. Even 1 million of us doing it is not a chance that it's going to support the continuation of it happening at a governmental level or a societal level or a crown level or at a church level. We do this in the self, then we're not supporting that energy existing on the planet anymore.
Yeah.
Facts.
And that's what I was talking about. You know, I was looking at the things, well, they were presented to me. Like, okay, like I was born in America. I'm an American. Well, wait a minute. I'm not an American. I'm an infinite, divine human soul. I'm
sovereign being.
Yeah, I'm a sovereign being. There is no borders. So that's what I was saying is I started to, instead of looking at, you know, human interaction or events in my life, I was being shown historical things or cultural things. And I was going, okay, that made me this and I'm not that, you know?
Yes.
And so that's why I was going, wow, this is going to get really interesting because as the collective consciousness starts to you know, heal those cracks or whatever you want to transform those things. You're right. What's going to happen on the global front? I mean, you know, what's going to happen? I mean, it's just going to crumble. Yeah. It'll all crumble. Yeah. That's another thing
you know,
it can't exist.
We go, oh, it's not fair. The government's doing this to me. It's like it's dismissing your own self-responsibility. So it's like just focus on yourself. It's the most powerful thing that we can do.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a huge message to anyone that's watching and anyone that catches this is focus on self. Quit concentrating on the government's, you know, that whole even thing about focusing on when this is going to come, the events, these things. It's not about that. It's not about that because that's not going to happen anyway unless you focus on yourself. So more importantly, just focus on self. Everything else will fall into place. And focus on self-love. And I just kind of want to elaborate on you stating that as these things surface, like when this masculine energy that we all carry that's falling away, as they come up, to be supportive of it falling away, I think was a huge thing. To be supportive of it falling away, because these are things that we're afraid to let go of, some of this masculine energy. Like we may not feel supported, or we may not, you know, if we let this go. So to actually be comfortable and to allow and to encourage it to fall away is big. Support it. Yeah, I like that. So I don't know if I want to elaborate or just basically state that's huge. Good. Yeah. You know, that was a big thing.
Yukia brought that up in a way. What she was basically saying is that resistance that was that patriarchal energy, she flipped it, understanding that by dealing with it, the value of it, in other words, focusing on what the masculine energy can bring to the table when it's pure and clean and whatever. Beautiful. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So that's kind of another thing.
Honoring it.
That's kind of another thing I'm seeing too. Is that there's more focus on the gift. We're more accepting of it. Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, which goes back again to that, I guess, the loving energy that's rolling through, and that. So it's creating everything to be a little bit softer and gentler on itself.
Yeah, we can use more of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through any more dark nights of the soul.
Yeah, and when we do, though, it's been moving through a little bit easier. Goes back to just being supportive.
So those mandalas, are those the ones you're working on now?
Yes, and that is, so I did a set that was about, we didn't mention this while you two were just talking, then I thought, there's another thing that I haven't mentioned, and that is that predominantly the women for the feminine energy, and either man or woman again, but predominantly the women had to accept responsibility for what in them allowed the false power. I didn't go through any clearing of the masculine energy, but I did go through a clearing of carrying, for me personally, and we all did it differently, but mine was carrying my family shame. So when I cleared that last week, I immediately aligned with a masculine energy. So I did one set of sharp mandalas just here that was recognizing the responsibility from the women for accepting in them what allowed being attracted to an alpha male, or the warrior, or the male energy being superior, or the patriarchal, or the false power. I needed to accept that. And then I did the next set of mandalas I did was embodying the true divine masculine. While I was still blaming him in some way without accepting responsibility for whatever attracted me to that energy. So then the next set of mandalas I did was about embodying the true divine masculine energy. And then the third lot, of which I'm actually in the middle of now, is about another level up again of embodying the true divine feminine in her full power, all that sort of stuff. So, I've been...
The color's beautiful.
That's what I've been doing. But, this equality,
amazing,
this reverence for each other, accepting responsibility for how she had allowed this, him accepting responsibility for this false power that he had taken, that she had given. And for me personally, it felt like he let up his power, he handed it back over, and I've gone, oh, yes, thank you. And I felt, all week like I can do anything. I actually felt like I've stepped into my power, because what I had given up to the masculine energy, and no singular person in particular, but the masculine energy, it's almost like he handed it back to me. I feel like it's been handed back to me, but I accepted responsibility that I created this, carrying the shame of being a woman, carrying the shame of what happened to women in my family and myself and all that sort of stuff.
That's huge.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Each one of these mandalas takes me 3 or 4 hours to do. I go through everything. I usually do 9 or 12 in a set, and it takes me 40 to 50 hours to do. So I do a lot of clearing, a lot of clarity comes through, a lot of transformation comes through. Yeah. That's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks.
I can't see the colors in there, so I have to wait till I rewatch the live and see. Because I know that the last ones I saw were in a lot of green and brown. Am I correct?
Right. Well, the masculine ones were like burgundies, blues, ochre yellows, greens, and the women's ones are they're in pinks and
that's what I thought.
Like quite feminine colours.
Yeah, nice.
So Crystal's asking. She's asking. Hang on. Let's see. The second one in the first row.
That one?
No, I think she's talking about the other side.
Oh, I haven't finished that. That's only just started.
Yeah, because she's saying the one without red. What does it stand for?
I don't know yet. I don't usually get it till I come to almost like a finishing stage, and then it all drops in. But I mean that's got there's like a neutral sort of colour. I don't read it until I get to at the end of each one of them, and it all sort of drops in.
Right. So once you finished all of them, everything just kind of completes the story for you, or completes an idea.
Yep.
That's how she processes stuff too and integrates stuff.
Interesting how much we're all doing drawings or some form of artistic like being creative, hence the energy that we're talking about. I think that really does allow for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crystal says it made her solar plexus go crazy in her heart.
What, the one not done? The one this one that's not done.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Isn't it? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And this was a set that I did that represented like the female still disempowered, subservient.
Wow, look at the difference of the colors. Almost like not speaking up for herself.
Yeah. And so the colours are, the heart, the higher heart, the throat chakra, the third, it was, and I'd finished them and I hated them like for 24 hours. I was just like, oh my God, they're so ugly. And then I realised that, that was me. Well, I think it was the next day I actually discovered that I was carrying family shame of the women, the women's line.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And as soon as I got that, it was like, oh, okay, that's right. I can detach from them now. Now I need to embody the divine masculine. Yeah,
right, and those were the green and burgundy. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah. They were. I thought they were really ugly when I started, but as soon as I finished the first one, I fell in love with them. I was like, oh yes, I get that.
Yes,
that's the masculine.
The divine masculine, not the old masculine.
Divine masculine.
Divine masculine. Yeah.
Yes, not broken.
So, and it doesn't matter what you do. You can do that through dancing. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're intentionally wanting to transform something, as long as you're present in what you're doing, it doesn't matter how you do it.
Very cool.
No, it doesn't. It's all intention, isn't it?
No distraction. Presence, no fence sitting, responsibility for self. It's the only way now. I think so anyway.
Plenty of water and plenty of rest.
Yes, definitely. What you said that?
No, I just said it.
Yes. Well, yeah, definitely for integration. Plus water. You guys remember, water is mental here, so remember, and the water now is taking on just the change that we're going through shows the water. So
yeah.
So you're gonna do a rap?
No, I'm not going to rap.
You said
this man thinks I rap.
You're gonna say you were gonna do a rap.
No, I didn't prepare the rap. I just come in and bring the man coffee, and I'm doing a lot.
I think you two should
Morgan,
sing a
thank
song.
you for coming on because I feel like
that's all right. That's all right.
What was that?
Sing a song, and then I'm going to go. It's very late. I think it's going to be 3 a.m.
Sing a song.
Sing a song, yeah. Go ahead. You got a rap or not?
I don't. Sing a song.
Do you need a beat? I'll give you a beat.
Do something creative.
Like heal the world, I don't know. So he wants me to rap, but I don't know. No, this isn't what I do. Yeah, that's not.
You were doing good.
No, we can sing like heal the world. I'm joking. No, I don't.
Sing, okay, so we are the world.
There's a place in this. You want me to really sing?
Huh? Go ahead. You want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not ready to sing.
All right. We'll just sign off. Everybody's wishing Morgan a good night's sleep.
Yes, definitely. Well,
thank you.
Walter and rest.
I'm gonna astral travel over there tonight.
Today.
Yeah, like in 5 minutes.
Hey, you can. The road is open.
I know it is, man.
Wide open.
I know it is.
And it's quick.
Teleportation is
within
reach.
Yes.
Just so you know, Todd Medina, I'll be sound asleep, so I won't even know.
Well,
maybe,
Mr. Pinkleton.
I gotta stop that, man. What is up with that?
It's just right now there's 3 people who know who Mr. Pinkleton is.
Yeah, that's right. Give Mr.
Pinkleton there's like half the world knows.
I don't know. I don't know how many people
I don't know.
I think there's 3 of us right now there. And you're lucky.
Todd? Just give it a rest. Give Mr. Pinkleton a rest. Give him a rest tonight.
I think now everyone knows who Mr. Pinkleton is now.
My God. All right.
Well, I don't know. I thought all men called it Mr. Pinkleton. When Todd started calling him Mr. Pinkleton, I've gone, who? What?
I've never used the word, so I have no idea what.
This is great.
Yeah, this is real great.
What
is this?
Last year, before I came over, he said, "You wait, Mr. Pinkleton."
I did not.
See, you know, I love this. No more sitting on the fence. We could own our stuff, Todd.
Yeah,
Mr. Pinkleton.
Todd.
Mr. Todd.
Todd Medina and Mr. Pinkleton. Here on 5D Soul Speaks.
Boom. This is what happens when we start real. Yeah.
All right, man. Okay. I guess I'll have to go first. It'll be nice to see everybody else when they get real.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Beautiful.
All right.
Hey, laughter is always great.
I think we're gonna. I got to take a nap, but I think we're gonna do a couple shows today. I got to get with a couple of people.
Yes. Yeah.
Shakina Rose wants to come on, so either today or tomorrow. So we set her up for tomorrow.
Great.
And Jen McCarthy and who else? Matthew Patty. But a few of them. I got to get to my notes. Oh, are they?
I'm here to work on scheduling. We're going to work on some scheduling today.
Awesome.
Morgan, you know how to put Mr. Todd in his place. Power.
Who said that?
I love the giggle on that.
Okay. So, all right. You go to sleep, beautiful.
It was wonderful seeing you again.
Yep, you too,
Always.
Jennifer.
Oh, yeah. 5D meeting soon. But
we should. Right. They're really good, yes. Okay.
Yeah, we really should. I mean, yeah, we'll set that up.
We will. All right.
All right. See you later.
Have a great day.
Have a great sleep.
All right. See you.